Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video, and today we have Mezco's Rumble Society Hawk P-40, and I gotta give a huge shout out to my boy Josh Cox for being amazing and making sure that I didn't miss out on this figure. And it comes in that typical Rumble Society packaging, and it does come with a Hawk P-40 comic book. Now this thing was just tossed on top of the box, so it did get like wrinkled up a little bit, so it wasn't as crispy as I would like. But inside, it does say that we're going to be getting an Atticus Doom coming soon. Got some artwork on the inside. You know, it's a comic. I'm like, it's a comic, and I go straight to the loot. They just put this up the other day where you can get some of these coins. They're just the multicolor skulls with some glitter in them to make them cosmic, I guess. And what else did they put up? Oh, and then they put up the Rumble Society shirt for 25 bucks. So some cool stuff that they do. The comic is pretty cool itself. Not much text. It's a lot of artwork, which the artwork is pretty solid. And then there's some fun little, you know, adverts inside. Even on the back, it says another fake ad from your friends at Mezco. And then on the back, I was like, holy cow, 100-piece Krieg Soldier set. I mean, definitely I didn't think it was going to be $1.98, but it starts listing off all the stuff, and then it says, by the way, this ad is fake as can be. So it's cool that they're having fun with the ads in their little comics. I just wish this was inside the package somehow or protected better, because, you know, I want to keep these things as crispy as I can, because it's still a mini comic. You're not going to get a Mezco purchase without a Mezit. And we're going to go ahead and open this up. This is one of the grubs. So let's see what color we get this time around. I've got some orange. I got black. I have gold. I wouldn't mind getting a blue one because I think there's a blue one that's out there. And just another gold one. I have tons of these already. Just like all the other Rumble Society figures, you got the magnet right here that keeps this closed. And you open this up to reveal some artwork. And it's definitely a unique looking piece of art. I'm not a big fan of it at all. We get that 112 Collective little Ziploc bag so you can put all your figures, goodies, and accessories right in this Ziploc bag. This is really one of the best ways to keep a hold of all the accessories. Instead of putting them all in a bin, you can actually put them in these baggies, label them, and if you need them, you can easily figure out whose accessories are whose. We get the nice Mezco Stand here, and it's very bright, which is different. And it has that artwork that I'm not too keen of, but I mean, I guess it works. And then, of course, you can pop off the little peg and put in your dynamic stand. Hawk comes with a pair of fist hands equipped. We also get a pair of gripping hands. Here we have some open, expressive hands. Almost could be used as martial arts hands or support hands for weapons. Here we get some more open palm expressive hands, almost like jazz hands. And of course, they can be used to support weapons. Here we have Hawk's alternate head. And this is really the selling point for me because this head sculpt is phenomenal. It is a tank head. And it gave off some vibes of like Tank Girl and things like that. Just the style of it. And I love it. It's got a big old hole in the back, which I'll show you what that's for. Tons of sculpted in detail paintwork, a little bit of weathering looking like rusting, got some dry brush in the silver. It's a pretty freaking cool head sculpt. It's a great idea. And what's even crazier, besides the barrel all having some nice dry brushing, the jaw actually moves. So when I open the jaw, you can really see like the things on the inside move. So like he could be grinding stuff up in those gears and stuff, and they have like a rusty looking texture dry brushed over them as well. Pretty freaking awesome. It's a very cool looking trap jaw-esque head sculpt. Now, the gap on the back of his head, Hawk comes with like a little communicator looking device with some antennae. It's blank on that side. And you just sort of pop it in like a video game cartridge right into the back of the head. Looking pretty freaking sweet. But that's not all. As you can see, it's got a little muzzle flash hole right there. And they give you the muzzle flash. You just peg it into it. Be very gentle. You don't want to break that peg off. So you can have it blasting around from his head. Tell me that's not badass. They did a great job with the blast effect. And again, this was the selling point of the figure for me. A weapon that we've seen before that Hawk comes with is a rocket launcher. And it even came in that Baker's Dozen set. Instead of it being solid black, it's still casted in the black plastic. It's just heavily dry brush silver. And I mean, it's not bad to have extra rocket launchers. Hawk comes with a signature weapon of his. Well, I guess it's one of his signature weapons, and that is a monkey wrench. And it is sculpted very nicely, painted very, very well. It looks very weathered and used, and it's definitely a unique signature weapon for a character to have. Here we got a nice combat knife that Hawk comes with. It has some awesome sculpt work in the grip, and throughout the blade, this whole thing is well painted. It's a really nice designed knife, but one thing that I noticed with just doing a quick once over of the figure, the only way he's going to be able to equip it is in his hands. He doesn't have a sheath for it or anything, which I find is a little odd. We get 3 pineapple grenades that are painted gold and silver. This excessive amount of use of silver, we get it, the figure is silver, doesn't mean all his accessories need to be heavily silver. One of my favorite accessories that Hawk comes with is some dog tags, and you can see you got a skull on there. On the opposite side of the skull, it does say Randolph Bryan, and it does say BryanRandolphTattoo.com. That is a real website, so definitely go check it out. Now we do get a pair of thick hoses, thin hoses, and they're sort of intertwined together, I guess, to pair them up and for easy packaging, but they will come undone. They're not wired or anything. They're just sort of pre-bent or pre-sculpted in a certain direction. Would have been cool if they were bendy wire, but we do get some hoses. Finally, we got the ultimate piece right here, which is Hawk's probably primary weapon. We got that big old minigun. It's green. It's got this like rusty dry brushing throughout. The barrel's painted silver with that weathering as well. We got the ports in the front to plug in some blast effects. We got a really cool looking joystick on top. Got like a little armor piece that can actually move out of the way. So you can move it up, down, depending, I guess, how your arm's going to be. We get some ports on the back. Those are for those hoses. This thing is pretty freaking wicked. It does spin as well. It's a little snug in some spots. And then you got this right there for the magazine. Now, the magazine shows that it's supposed to be plugged in like so, which is not bad. But I almost think I don't know. I don't know if it looks better going this direction like it's supposed to, or the other way, just to sort of declutter the front. Because I was thinking that if you pop this bad boy out and you put it in this way, it looks a little bit better. But I guess I'll keep it based on how they advertised it, even in the comic. So I'll flip it the other way. But this is another option. I guess you could have your magazine. Here we have the minigun with the blast effect equipped, and it looks pretty freaking wicked. It's a very nice and sort of like crazily fiery looking type of blast effect compared to the other ones, which are a lot more jaggy. This one has like the little, almost like flames coming out, which looks great. And then there is one other effect that they came with, and it's pretty much designed for this one because of the depth of the peg. And this, you can sort of work it in any of those pegs, and you got yourself this type of blast effect. Taking an up-close look at Hawk, and I mean, it's a very unique looking head sculpt. Definitely has that bomber feel with the way his mouth is painted on. And it would have been cool if they would have sculpted that on and maybe added a hinged jaw a little bit. But I guess his head's supposed to look like a hammerhead shark airplane type of robot. Definitely a unique design. The eyes are painted red. Tons of sculpt work in the head sculpt. Could have used a little bit of a wash, in my opinion, to dull down some of the silver. I feel like some of the silver is a little bit too bright and poppy for the alternate head. One thing I have issue with is I do have one of my shoulder pads. They do shift out of the way so you can pose, but one is loose, and it looks like because this part right here is angled a little bit further out compared to this side. And yeah, it's a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer, but we get some cool weathering on the back of the jacket with a cool print. Got like the little fur collar type of thing, and I don't know how I feel about that because they're trying to do it in such a small scale. It sort of looks like, it looks a little sloppy, especially when it comes to like the arms. You can't really see because it's blurry how the arms look and everything. If they would have kept it just with like maybe the inside of the jackets or his collar only, it just looks like he's bursting out of like a stuffed animal. And that sort of is a bummer. We got a little emblem there. We do get a full zipped up like jacket, which we are going to unzip right now. I'm not going to have this thing zipped up like that. If I can unzip it, geez. After some technical difficulties, I finally got the vest jacket open, and that's because I thought the zipper in this part were going to stay on the opposite side. So that was my fault. On his chest there, you can see underneath his little tank top is silver. So they were continuously making sure this dude was silver. His neck collar piece is done quite well. The neck piece is very cool. I love the little like ribbed looking sculpt work going on there. He does have a belt and has a propeller on the belt. The belt is very sort of like loose, which I mean, it would have been cool if they had like belt loops over it, something to sort of hold it in place. And we do get a hook there, which is for his wrench. So it doesn't, no spot for his knife, but he's got a spot for his wrench. You just sort of put that bad boy on there. Let's see if it'll do it on camera for me. Yep, just like so. So you got his wrench hanging from his side, which why not? Why didn't you add a knife sheath? Like there's nothing, even when you get in past the digital camel pants, which are done really nice. I do dig it. This whole figure gives me a Guile from Street Fighter vibe, but no sonic boom effect. We get some really well done like leathery boots. And again, you got these awesome boots. You didn't add like any sort of boot sheath, like knife sheath for the boots or anything like that. You didn't add it to this belt, which could have used it because all you did was add a hook and a propeller buckle. Like, or I mean, the propeller doesn't even spin. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of like, here you got some grenades even. I mean, the grenades might be able to hook up. You could sort of equip the grenades on the belt like that, but I mean, if you push it down any further, you're going to snap that thin little piece of plastic. It's like, why didn't they add proper like storage on this belt? You got this giant belt that you could easily set up for holding the grenades and the knife besides just the wrench. Diving into articulation, he's got all the Mezco articulation you'd want. Attitude for days. His head can look up quite a bit, can look down quite a bit. Shoulder pads actually shift out of the way. Oops, I just popped it off of its back. But either way, here, we'll do it on this arm. So his arm can move up that far. We get the bicep swivel, but mind you, shoulder pad moves with it. We get the arm that goes down. See this floppy shoulder pad? That's a freaking bummer. Double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, and of course you get the bend at the wrist as well. As for ab movement, again, that belt just gets in the way. get a little bit up in the chest, like pec area. You can shift it left and right, but not much movement. You got the ball joint at the waist, and thigh cuts, double jointed knees, so you get some nice, diving knees. No boot cut. We get ankle bend, pivot, all that stuff you'd want out of a Mezco. Even Hawk's balance game is on point. You can just have him booking at somebody with that wrench, ready to crack somebody over the skull, and it looks great. He poses very, very well, and it's a pretty freaking weird, unique looking guy, or robot, should I say. Now, Hawk supports his minigun slightly well, and the reason I say slightly well is because it doesn't hold it the way I want it to. It's like why not? You have this nice supporting hand to rest the barrels on, and it doesn't, because you got this nice little arm part that clips on, right? Clips on right here. He holds on to it. You start trying to get him to angle it. This all comes popping off. And then also these cables, as cool and as neat as they can be, it's all blurry as I'm trying to talk about this stuff. They're not wired. They're pre-posed up, so they like keep pulling on the gun a little bit. So it doesn't make sense. Like, they look neat, but I don't think I need them in my minigun at all. And as you can see, like, I don't get, even the joystick on this thing sort of feels loose. Let me play around with it a little bit further. Since I was messing with the minigun anyway, I figured why not change his head out and take those hoses off. The hoses, it's more of, it was a neat idea. The thought that counts, I guess, but they don't really work the way I would like them to. And even without the hoses, I can't get the pose I want. He's just grasping for that barrel. He's just a little bit further. It's the butterfly joints. The butterfly joints on this guy don't give him enough range to be able to bring this honking thing up onto his hand as nicely as I would like. It should be able to go up further. Like, it needs like a bicep, or not a bicep, but a forearm swivel or something, because that's really what is missing. Because when you try to rotate this, the little clip on his arm unclips. So it sucks. It sort of sucks. You can't really get him up there supporting the minigun like you would want, But it's, I guess, good enough. But you can see, look how much I'm trying to get this arm to support that. And it's like, damn. Like, it's a cool idea, but they failed with it. Like, it's so close. So close. It's a sweet gun, though. And then another thing that sort of bugs me when I was sort of posing them around and everything, it's just like, you put this head on and it looks all nice and green and gritty and rusty, and then you just got these super bright, vibrant silver arms. And it's like, I wish they didn't do it super bright. They could have dulled it down a little bit with the wash or something. Therefore, when you put this head sculpt on there, it doesn't look ridiculously off. Hawk P-40 is going to be a great addition to my Rumble Society shelf. I mean, honestly, Mezco is just pumping out some weird and crazy figures for that Rumble Society line, and they're pretty awesome. I almost passed on this guy, but what really sold me again was that tank head. I mean, it was such a badass idea, and it looks great. They even gave it a blast effect. I mean, it's such a great idea. I just wish it feels like it might have been an afterthought, because you got this dark olive with all this like darker like wear, and it has some slight silver on it, but then you got this very bright and vibrant figure with the pants, the arms, the undershirt. It's like the balancing of the dark to brighter colors is a little bit off to me, but it's still pretty badass. And honestly, I might add a wash to the arms to try to darken them down so they're not so Silver Surfer like. But the figure's awesome. I'm glad to have it. And that sums up my unboxing and review of the new Mezco Rumble Society Hawk P-40. If you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up for me. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I know it's goofy. It's a little red button. If you hit the subscribe button, it'll mean the world to me. And go ahead and hit that silver bell notification if you want to stay in the know when I post up a new video. And most importantly, I want you guys to check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. The website is down below, so therefore you can check out the website, see if there's anything on there. Plus, you get a promo code down there for you to get free shipping on whatever you see on the website. And make sure you check out the Toyco Preorder Facebook group, because that definitely keeps you in the know when it comes to your imports, your Mezcos, things of that nature. So definitely check that out, join up, and make sure you're not paying aftermarket prices for those imports, because some of those prices can get up there. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.